Sometimes the business owner looks at business very differently. I get an impression that if their sales were to rise, if their revenues were to get very high, they would be very happy. In one such cases, a company came to me, and that business owner, he had established from scratch, and he was really thrilled. He says over the last 8 years, when he came to me, he says he has grown to be amongst the largest suppliers of automotive components in the replacement market. He had manufacturing facilities also, and he was based in North. He was based in Delhi. And as he went about that, how his revenue has grown, etc., I asked him about profits. He said an example which I have never been able to forget. He says the hen has been growing, the egg has been shrinking. The sales had been increasing, but the returns are not that high. At times, we fool ourselves that the sales, now I am in X 100 crores, now I am in 1000 crores. He was very frank. He said the profits were not increasing. And the worst is, there were times when I was going through his books, the profits had been engineered so that he could get more loans. And it showed, because when I started assignment with him on the business turnaround, he had hardly any cash flow with him. He was taking loans to repay the loans. Although the books at some time he thought had profits in them. And this is not the only case. In another case, I had worked in a Japanese joint venture in auto component sector. They were manufacturing, supplying to very large OEMs. After 6 months to 8 months, when we had turned around, we became profitable. I was really surprised that the books still did not show profits. And I was told that over years, when they had been not making profits, the good inventory shown in the books was actually not saleable inventory. It took them 3 months to write it off because the books had been engineered. So don't get lost by the numbers which you are seeing or by what they imply. Sometimes we are slipping and we don't notice that. Take action as soon as you get aware. If things starts to slip, cash flow is one of the biggest ones. Second is if the firefighting starts. If your people are not aligned with each other and everybody wants to pass the buck. If your customer complaints are increasing. If within your internal supply chain, if your internal customers are not happy. If targets are met, and even after targets having been met, you still feel the books are not healthy. There are several such areas where you will find out that the reason is much more deeper. You have to look into that. And you will realize that you are in for driving another turnaround. You would have done that earlier also, because it's in stages. When you start as a founder, the challenges are different. When you have established yourself as a company, the procedures are set, you hand over to a team, the challenges are different. When the business is growing, the team is getting bigger, the business is getting bigger, the challenges get different. And so on across the stages of the business. At each gear shift, the challenge comes. And when the gear has shifted, it becomes smooth. But so many of us get lost, get down when the gear shift does not happen. Don't let this happen. I have worked across 8 different industries, started from McKinsey, learned from the West, and I have learned from all frameworks. I have learned from theory of constraints. I have worked with Toyota and their supplier, learned in Japan on the TQM and lean principles. I have learned from Yamaguchi-san on TPM. Our company is where we deployed TPM under his guidance. We won TPM awards. We got several customer awards. I have done my master black belt in Lean Six Sigma. But does it mean that I am all these frameworks? No. These do give a methodology, but it's a battlefield which tests you. The 16 turnaround which I have done, they have actually time tested and really brings to fore what exactly is needed by the business. Don't waste your time trying to see what has to be done. Reach out to me. Maybe we can work out something, because a turnaround, in my experience, from stages of survival to stability takes 6 to 8 months. Don't waste your time. Reach out to me. Let us discuss and let us take this forward. Time is money. Thank you.